Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. You're watching KTN Prime. At the top of the hour, we shall be hosting the CS for Health, Susan Nakumisha. She's already within our premises here at the Standard Group. You want to stand by for that conversation coming up at the top of the hour. But now let's inform you with business news. And Kenya will have to repay debts amounting to 1.25 trillion shillings in the next financial year, even as the government targets to collect 2.57 trillion shillings in taxes. As Noah Kipkemboi reports, this could signal tougher times ahead of Kenyans, with the taxman expected to intensify tax collection to meet its revenue collection target.
Kenya is set to make its highest ever debt repayment in the 2023-2024 financial year. According to the Division of Revenue Act 2023, which is assented by our President William Ruto, Kenya's total debt repayment for the financial year 2023-2024 is set to hit 1.25 trillion shillings, up from 930.4 billion shillings in the current financial year. A closer look at Kenya's debt repayment indicates that this will be the highest ever debt repayment, surpassing the 1.177 trillion shillings paid in the financial year 2021-2022. The Division of Revenue Act 2023 is meant to share revenue between national and county governments, and estimates that the taxman will collect 2.57 trillion shillings, from which the national government will get a revenue share of 2.177 trillion shillings, while county governments will receive 385.4 billion shillings. The debt repayment of 1.177 trillion shillings will take out 57.4% of the 2.177 trillion shillings set to be allocated to the national government under the Division of Revenue Act 2023. As of January 2023, the provisional public debt numbers stood at 9.182 trillion shillings, comprising of 4.5 trillion shillings in domestic debt and 4.68 trillion shillings in external debt. According to the Medium-Term Debt Management Strategy 2023, this year will have the highest rate of maturity in domestic debt due to the maturing of short-term government securities. 19.5% of the domestic debt portfolio will mature in less than 1 year in 2023, 10.1% in 2 to 3 years, and 8.7% in 4 to 5 years. Even though the average time of maturity for external debt increased to 25.9 years as of June 2022 from 23.3 years in 2021, the grace period is getting shorter, reducing from 7.4 years to 4.2 years. Overall, Kenyans could be in for a tough year as the Kenya Revenue Authority looks to meet the ambitious revenue target set at 2.57 trillion shillings, up from the current 2.1 trillion shillings. But this is where the matter gets interesting, as the taxman's revenue performance remains below expectation. Going by the last available disclosure of actual revenue performance as published in the Kenya Gazette on the 14th of April 2023, KRA had, as of 31st of March 2023, collected 1.39 trillion shillings, which is 66% of its revenue target of 2.1 trillion shillings. As the financial year draws to a close and the next financial year beckons, questions arise as to whether KRA will meet its set revenue target in the last 3 months of the 2022-2023 year, and what tax measures awaits Kenyans in the June budget to enable the government meet its debt obligations. Noah Kipkemboi, KTN News.
NCBA